Good morning, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? I'm Krista Abbott, and this is Inspire with Fire, where we meet you at the intersection of life, faith, family, and business. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day today. I'm very, very excited to continue some of our discussions on faith. And today we're going to be talking about how faith empowers. Good morning, Miss Linda. I am excited to see you back with us again this morning. Always here, always faithful. Talk about faithful. Here's Ruthie. Good morning, Ruthie. Good to see you this morning in the house. As you guys come into the room, I see y'all piling on in. Come on and drop a note in the comments. Say good morning. Let us know you're here. Hello, Miss Jillian. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Thank you. It's Mary Kay. Good morning, Miss Lori. Good to see you this morning. I love seeing you guys pop in and say hello. Hey, we missed you yesterday, Lori, but I see that you caught the replay, so thank you for doing that. I hope you enjoyed it. But we love seeing you guys come on in. Good morning, Miss Donna. Good to see you. Okay, so you can come back and catch the replay. No worries. Have a wonderful day and be blessed. Be blessed in all you do today, Donna, and we'll see you on the replay a little bit later. But thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Yes, make it a great day. That is exactly what we're going to do today. All right. I see you guys are all fired up and excited already. And for those of you who haven't popped in the comments yet, I see you. Hello. Good to see you here as well. And for those coming in on the replay, remember hashtag replay so that I know you stopped by and I can give you a little bit of love later. All right. So let's go ahead and get started because today listen, there is a sweet presence. There's a sweet presence of the Lord here today, and I've just already had a good time. I've already had me a good time. So we're going to have a good time together now, and we're going to talk a little bit more about faith. We started on it yesterday, and I don't know, this morning I just kind of felt like hanging out there in the Hall of Fame, so to speak, and just really thinking about this a little bit more and a little bit deeper. And I can't really explain the presence that I feel, but there's like a sweetness and a stillness in the heavenly atmosphere today. So I just want to pray that you guys can feel and experience that same sweetness and stillness in the spiritual atmosphere that I'm experiencing today, because it's really nice. Somebody say it's real nice. And I just want you guys to enjoy it too. So I just impart that to you and say, Lord, let them feel this same presence that I'm feeling today. So thank you for the fires and the bam! The bam! That's what I call those little explosive things. They're a bam! I like those too. All right, guys. All right, so let's go hop on over to our inspiration for today already. Here we go. Now, when I read this, I just got undone for a minute. I'm not even going to lie. I was like, I've read this verse so many times. I can't even tell you the number of times. But when I read it this morning, it just came in a whole new light. Y'all ever have that happen where you read it and you're like, wow, I never saw it like that before. But now, of course, I've never read it in the Passion Translation before today. So, that could be the difference, to be honest. And it's real nice. Yes, ma'am, it's real nice. Let's go ahead and add that up there. It's real nice. But let's read this. It says, faith empowers us to see that the universe was created and beautifully coordinated. Now, what you see in brackets here is not technically in the Passion Translation. It's part of the footnote as an alternative translation for beautifully coordinated. And it says, the ages were completely equipped. Think about that for a minute. That's a wow. I just saw somebody put a wow emoji up. Faith empowers us to see that the universe was created and beautifully coordinated. The ages were completely equipped. In other words, when God created the universe, He completely equipped it for all of time. So when it says the ages were completely equipped, they were completely equipped from beginning to end. Through all of time, the ages were completely equipped by the power of God's words. We make decrees every day, right? Because words have power. Our words have power. They have creative power, just like God's words have creative power. So it says, He spoke, and the invisible realm gave birth to all that is seen. So remember yesterday how we talked about faith is the evidence of things not seen, that it's those things that are not seen that we're bringing in and manifesting into the natural world through our faith. So it says here that God's words, He spoke, and that the invisible realm gave birth to all that is seen. So here, this isn't even in my notes. This is just fresh, hot off the presses right now. So we're seeing here where God spoke and the invisible realm gave birth to all that is seen. So it's the combined power. Let me get my words right. It's the combined power of our faith and our words. So our faith and our words come together to pull from the invisible into the visible. So it's that combined power. So I've not really talked a whole lot yet about why we do decrees every day. We just use that to anchor it, but we're also taking what has been received into our hearts through our conversation that day, and we're pulling it into the natural or to the seen realm. So we're taking what is spiritual and we're giving life and breathing life to it, because our words have creative power. They have creative life in them. So, and that's because we're created in the image of God. So He created everything with His words. And if we're created in His image, we have the ability to use our words to create as well. But it's the combination of faith. You have to believe it. Faith combined with your words. Okay. So that's just a bonus. Say that's a bonus point for today. Somebody write #bonus. Oh, thank you, Ruthie. It's real nice. All right. Thank you for that fire. So faith empowers us. Good morning, Melody. Good to see you guys. Good to see you hopping on. Welcome. So we're talking about faith and its ability to empower us. So faith empowers us here to understand the vast power of God. So it's talking here about God's ability to create the universe and to beautifully coordinate or completely equip all of the ages by His power or by His words. So faith empowers us to understand His power, to appreciate or embrace His creative genius. So His creative genius comes from His ability to beautifully coordinate and equip all of the ages from the beginning of time until the end of time. So that's something to marvel at. And as I thought about that this morning, I was just sitting here and I was going, wow. Wow. I wish you guys could have seen me going, wow. You're kind of seeing it now, I suppose, but I'm reenacting it. You should have seen it like when I originally first was like, whoa, no way, dude. So anyway, it allows us to accept that the scene came from the unseen. So this is the kind of faith that empowers. So what kind of faith empowers you? Good morning, Tortilla. We haven't seen you in a minute, girl. Good to see you back today. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So that's sort of, what we want to think about with that is what kind of faith empowers us to see. What kind of faith empowers us to understand that vastness of God's creative genius, his creative ability, and his the way that he can just speak and bring the invisible realm and give birth to it into the natural realm. So that's point number one we want to talk about. Now, point number two, somebody say dose. Number two, dose. I don't know why I'm speaking with a weird English accent trying to talk Spanish, but it's me. That's why. It's just me. All right. Next, let's look at Abel. So it says that faith moved Abel to choose a more acceptable sacrifice to offer God than his brother Cain. And God declared him righteous because of his offering of faith. By his faith, Abel still speaks instruction to us today, even though he is long dead. So here we see faith moved. In the last one, we saw faith empowers us to believe. Now we're seeing that faith moved Abel. So faith has a lot of different action behind it. Faith has this ability to move or to push or to drive other actions. So here faith is moving Abel. There was something inside of Abel's spirit that moved him to want to provide a more excellent sacrifice. That there weren't necessarily rules on what kind of offering to bring. It was an offering. It was a sacrificial offering that he was bringing to God of his harvest, of his fruits, his vegetables, of his livestock. This was something he was bringing to God to sacrifice. So it wasn't necessarily God's demand on a certain thing. It was what did he have in his possession that he wanted to give to God. And so Abel brought his offering, and God considered it much more acceptable than he did Cain's, because God saw the faith behind what Abel did. God saw the faith behind the fact that he didn't just bring a sheep or a goat. He brought his best. He didn't just bring some of the misfits. Anybody get misfits produce boxes? I just started getting them, and I kind of like them. They're fun. But that misfit produce, the kind that just isn't pretty, it does the job and it's still good, but it's just not as pretty as the ones on the shelf in the store. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't bring his misfits produce. He brought his best. He brought the pretty stuff and to give it to God to make as a sacrificial offering. So there was something in Abel, and it was his faith that moved him to say, I'm going to bring God the best that I can bring him. And Cain just brought some stuff, he brought an offering, and it wasn't that it was any bigger or smaller. It just, the faith in Abel is what moved God. So moved God to consider it more acceptable. So Abel had the faith for that. So what kind of faith do we have that can move us? That can move us into doing something that is extra for God, that is giving of our best to him? Because there's so many lessons in what Abel did there that it says right here that he's still giving us instruction even today. That what Abel did and the sacrifice that he made and the faith that moved him to do that is where our lesson is. It's the faith behind what Abel did that is what is pleasing to God. That is what we want to strive to have in our lives, is that faith that moves God. So our question then here is, what kind of faith moves you to want to bring or to do that thing that is acceptable or pleasing to God, that takes it to the next level? So what is the kind of faith that can move you to that next level of sacrifice with God, whether it's in your work that you do, or in your service to him, or in it could be an offering, or in your love to him, or just obedience to do what maybe he's asked you to do to help another person. So what kind of faith can move you? That's a question to ask today. All right. Anybody feeling that? Show me some love over in the comments here. Y'all still here? Okay, I see y'all are still here. Y'all must be paying attention. Nobody's commenting. Y'all must be paying attention. All right, let's hop on to number 3 in our faith movement and empowerment today. And that is, let's look at Enoch. Here it says, faith lifted Enoch from his life, and he was taken up to heaven. He never had to experience death. He just disappeared from this world because God promoted him. For before he was translated to the heavenly realm, his life had become a pleasure to God. So faith lifted Enoch from this life, and he was taken up into heaven. Now that's a natural thing, but let's think about this on a spiritual level too. So faith lifts us. Remember how when I started out, I said there's just a really, there's like a stillness and a really sweet presence in the heavenly atmosphere today, in the spiritual atmosphere and I wanted you guys to feel and experience what I was feeling in the heavens today, is because my spirit has been lifted into the heavens to make contact with that and to feel that. So faith can lift us, just like faith lifted Enoch in the natural. He didn't have to die a natural death here on earth. He was just transported into heaven. And so we're not saying that we're going to physically transport into heaven, at least not right now anyway. Maybe one day. But because that means you cease to exist on the earth. And I don't think we're finished with our work here on the earth yet. So anyway, back to my point. Somebody say, come back, Krista, come back. Faith lifted Enoch from this life, and he was taken up into heaven. Well, let's think about this. Go down to the last sentence there. For before he was translated to the heavenly realm, his life had become a pleasure to God. So as we're seeking God and as we're walking our path with him, we can make those connections with that heavenly realm even now. And our spirit, because of what Jesus did, see, Enoch was before Jesus. We're after Jesus. So because of what Jesus did, we have the ability to connect our spirits with heaven even now while our physical bodies are on earth. So we can connect with that and feel it and pull that presence, because remember, we're bringing heaven to earth. So the way we do that is we have to connect with heaven, find out what's up there, and then we have to pull it down and bring it into earth. That is our role as kingdom people. As people who are representing God here on this planet, our job is to bring heaven to earth. So the way that we do that is we have to first connect with heaven. Our spirits have to be lifted into the heavenly realm so that we can connect with that and then pull it and bring it down into earth and share it with other people. So that's sort of what I'm doing today and on other days with Inspire with Fire, is I connect with heaven every morning to say, God, what are you saying today? What do you want to share today? And then he provides that inspiration or information to me, and then I come and share it with whoever shows up. And that's, how pretty much how it should be. Hopefully that's how it is with other people who share from God's heart, but that's essentially that's a connection where I've been lifted up into a heavenly place in the spirit, not in the natural. Now my body's not like floating up there in heaven somewhere, but my spirit connects with that, and I'm able to hear God, and I'm able to feel what he's doing. And sometimes I can feel the stillness or the activity in heaven. And that's part of my prophetic gifting, is being able to know what is happening in the heavenly realm and to bring that to earth. So yeah, so faith lifted Enoch. So how can our faith lift us? How can your faith lift you into that heavenly realm to make that connection with God? So what can lift you there? And it says that he had a reputation of pleasing God. And when I read that this morning, what it says here specifically is his life had become a pleasure to God. Think about that for a minute. How can your life be a pleasure to God? So, and then I looked, some more in the footnotes and did a little more studying around that. And it basically said that he had a reputation, even with humanity. He had a reputation of being a man who pleased God and who was considered righteous and holy, and that meant that he made it a habit. He made it a lifestyle. Think about that for a minute. He made it a habit and a lifestyle and created for him a reputation of pleasing God. It wasn't just a one-time thing. This was his lifestyle. So when I read that, I almost started crying. I was like, God, how can I create a lifestyle that is pleasing to you? How can I create a lifestyle where everything and every day and everything that I say or do creates pleasure for God? That's something to think about. So I would say then, what kind of faith would lift you? What kind of lifestyle would allow God to have pleasure in you and declare your righteousness? And when I say you, I'm talking to me as well. Not pointing any fingers, but yeah. So just allowing us to ask ourselves, what kind of faith empowers us? What kind of faith moves us? What kind of faith lifts us from this earthly atmosphere into that heavenly realm to make that connection with heaven? And then when we're lifted there, how do we develop a lifestyle that becomes pleasing and is a pleasure to God? Like, I don't have any kids. I have a cat, and he brings a lot of pleasure to me. So I can imagine that as a parent, that many of you who have children, that there are things that they do that bring pleasure to you, and there are things they do that don't bring so much pleasure to you. You know what I'm saying? So as God's children, what are those things that we do that bring that daily pleasure to Him? And so my prayer this morning, just being transparent with you guys, my prayer this morning became, God, make me a person who's full of faith and who has the kind of faith that is pleasing to you, who has the kind of faith that empowers, that has the kind of faith that moves the heart of God, like Abel did, or that moves my heart to do something that is pleasing to the Lord. And God, let me have that kind of faith that lifts me from this earthly realm into the spiritual realm, to make that connection so that I can bring heaven to earth and be a vessel for God to use, or to be an instrument here on the planet for Him to use to help other people elevate into that and be lifted up into that connection with heaven. So that was my prayer this morning, and I hope it can be your prayer too. And I just wanted to, share a little more transparently and openly with you guys this morning about that and the thought processes and everything that goes into it. Are you feeling it though? Are you feeling it before we anchor it here? What do we got? Heaven on earth. I'm loving it. I'm living it. We got some butterflies, all that transformation vibes going on, and some fire. What, you got some clouds there, Tortilla? Is it cloudy over in Oklahoma today? All right. We got some booms, some prayers. All right, I see some thumbs and some hearts flying through the air here. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for all that. Loves. All right, well, let's go ahead and anchor it then. Good morning, Mama. Good morning. Good to see you. Let's go ahead and anchor it then. I decree I am full of faith that marvels at the mighty hand of God. I seek to live a life full of the kind of faith that pleases God, faith that empowers, faith that moves, and faith that lifts. One more time. I decree I am full of faith that marvels at the mighty hand of God. I seek to live a life full of the kind of faith that pleases God, faith that empowers, faith that moves, and faith that lifts. That's good stuff right there. Somebody said that's good stuff right there. Oh, geez. Mama, you got some loves going up in the comments. Everybody's saying good morning to you. Miss Jillian saying good morning, Mama. Tortilla saying morning, Mama. Melody's giving some muscles. I like the muscles. Some muscles. Make us strong in you, Lord. Make us strong in the faith. Good stuff. That's some good stuff right there. Hey, my uncle. When he eats something that he likes, he always like, there's some good stuff right there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this morning and you feel like there's some good stuff right there. Okay. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright, well that's it. That's all I got today. You guys know the drill, KristaAbbott.com. You can read some articles there. I need to get up some new ones. Y'all pray for me. I can get a new article up. And let's see, Kingdom818.com. There's some t-shirts and some mugs and swag and stuff over there if y'all want to check it out. I can customize something. If you got something you want on a shirt or a mug, I can help you out there. Miss Linda is saying, for all I trust him is faith. Yes, I love that. I love it. Yes, have a beautiful day, everyone. We will see you guys next time. If you want to, yeah, so don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Head over to YouTube if you haven't subscribed there, and just give me a subscription. Help a sister out. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.